You've been doing everything right. You clip coupons, you meal prep, you take the long route to the cheaper gas station. You feel proud watching that savings account tick up penny by penny. But here's the thing that nobody tells you: your frugality might be the exact reason you'll never build real wealth. And before you click away thinking this is about spending recklessly, stick with me, because what I'm about to show you will completely change how you see money. Think about Sophia. She's 32, earns a solid income, and she's obsessed with saving. Every dollar is accounted for. After 10 years of this lifestyle, her savings have grown a little, but her salary hasn't really changed. She still rents, still stresses about money. She's working just as hard, but she's not moving forward. This is the frugal trap. It's not that saving is evil. The problem is using frugality as a substitute for the real work of building wealth, which is making more money, investing it, and upgrading your earning power. Think about it. If you earn $50 an hour and you spend 3 hours driving around to save $15 on groceries, you just lost $135 in opportunity cost. You traded your most valuable asset, your time, for pocket change. But you felt productive. You felt like you were winning with money. And that feeling? That's the trap. Here's how this works psychologically. When you're frugal, your brain gets a hit of dopamine. You see a 30% discount and you think, I just saved 30%. But you didn't save 30%, you spent 70%. Your brain is celebrating a win that doesn't actually exist. And because of this, you start making decisions that feel smart but are actually sabotaging your wealth. Consider the cheap shoe trap. You buy $40 shoes that fall apart in 6 months. Your friend buys $120 boots that last 5 years. You end up spending more over time, and you waste dozens of hours shopping and dealing with uncomfortable feet. Or the convenience penalty. You save $30 a month by not using food delivery, but you spend 10 hours a week meal prepping, time you could have spent learning a skill that pays $20 an hour. That's $200 a month in lost opportunity. You're down $170. The pattern is always the same. You're optimizing for low spend instead of high value. So what do wealthy people actually do? They ask a different question. Instead of what's the cheapest option, they ask what's the best value for what I care about. They are pound wise, which means they can afford to be penny foolish. A wealthy person looks at housing and asks, what's the right price for this location and quality, not what's the absolute cheapest home. They buy the car that costs the least to maintain over 10 years, not the cheapest one on the lot. And most importantly, they invest in their skills. They'll pay for a $2,000 course that teaches them a skill worth $15,000 more per year because the ROI is insane. They understand that Jet Airways collapsed because they tried to save a few million by cutting staff and services, which cost them billions in lost revenue. They were penny wise and pound foolish. The wealthy understand something crucial that frugal people don't. Money is a tool for creating opportunity, not an end in itself. If you're not using money to create leverage through investment, skill development, or income multiplication, then you're not actually building wealth. You're just hoarding. Let's talk about what extreme frugality actually costs you. And I'm not talking about happiness, though that matters too. First, there's the opportunity cost. Imagine you earn $5,000 a month, but live on $2,000 to save aggressively. That's $3,000 left to invest. But here's what you're missing. You could have spent $500 more on professional development and learned to earn $6,000 a month instead. Now you have $4,000 to invest. In 30 years, at 7% returns, that extra $1,000 a month compounds to over $1.3 million more than your aggressive saving ever could. Second, relationship damage. Extreme frugality destroys relationships. One couple in their 30s was on the verge of divorce because the frugal partner wouldn't allow the other to buy a $5 coffee. The frugal person thought they were being responsible, but they were actually weaponizing money as a form of control. That's not wealth building. That's emotional abuse. Third, decision fatigue. Your brain has limited decision-making capacity. If you spend it all optimizing $15 grocery purchases, you have nothing left for the big decisions. And people with decision fatigue make terrible choices, impulsively overspending on things that aren't on their budget because they're exhausted from the constant calculation. And fourth, the compounding effect of regret. Time you spend chasing small savings is time you're not spending on growth. And when you realize at 45 that you're still making the same money you were at 35, that regret compounds more painfully than any financial gain. So what's the actual path forward? How do you escape the frugal trap? It's not about swinging to the opposite extreme and becoming reckless. It's about becoming intentional. Here's the framework. Step 1, identify your non-negotiables. These are things that directly impact your earning power or quality of life: a good internet connection, a reliable car, quality sleep. Figure out what unlocks your performance and protect that budget fiercely. Step 2: categorize everything else. Split it into two buckets: investments and spending. Investments multiply your money or your time, education, tools, skills. Spending is everything else. And here's the psychological trick: give yourself permission to spend guilt free on a portion of your income, maybe 10 to 20%. Let some small luxuries exist without guilt. Step 3: focus ruthlessly on income growth. This is the truth nobody wants to hear. Frugality has a ceiling. You can only cut so much, but income growth is unlimited. A $10,000 raise, if you invest most of it, compounds to massive wealth. Spend your mental energy on upgrading your skills, building your expertise, and creating visibility. And step 4: invest what you save. If your money sits in a savings account earning nothing, you're not building wealth, you're just delaying spending. Real wealth comes from investing, putting your money to work in index funds, real estate, or a business. Your money means to be multiplying, not just accumulating. Here's what separates people who build real wealth from people who are just good at not spending. People with a wealth mindset view money as a tool for creating options. People with a scarcity mindset view money as something to protect and guard. When you have a scarcity mindset, you're always afraid. Afraid of spending, afraid of losing what you have, afraid of risk. And fear makes you small. It makes you optimize for the wrong things. When you have an abundance mindset, you ask different questions. Where can I create more value? What investments have the highest return? How do I increase my earning power? And what's wild is that people with an abundance mindset often end up spending less, not because they're cutting the budget, but because they're too focused on growing income to waste mental energy on small savings. They're busy building. The shift isn't about becoming careless, it's about becoming strategic. It's about understanding that real wealth isn't built by being cheap, it's built by being valuable. There's a Benjamin Franklin quote: "The bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low price is forgotten." I'd reframe it: the regret of wasted opportunity remains long after the satisfaction of a discount has faded. If this message resonated with you, if you've been feeling stuck in the frugal trap, you're not alone. Thousands of people are waking up to this exact realization. But here's what separates those who change and those who don't: they take action. So here's what I want you to do. First, hit subscribe, not for vanity metrics, but so you stay connected to content that helps you escape scarcity thinking and build real wealth on your own terms. Second, in the comments, tell me, what's one area where you've been penny wise and pound foolish? What opportunity cost have you been paying? Reading those might be the wake-up call someone else needs. And third, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone you know who's caught in the cycle of extreme frugality and stress. Because here's the truth: nobody's getting rich just by being cheap. They're getting rich by building value, earning more, investing wisely, and protecting their most precious resource, their time. The frugal trap is real, but you now know how to escape it. I'll see you in the next one.